There's always been a debate on what is the stupidest crime you could ever commit. But I don't really think it's that much of a debate. I think there is an objectively right answer. Pokemon card related crimes. And they are so common these days, with people ruining their lives because they cannot help but try and steal Pokemon cards to resell them. It's almost dangerous to have Pokemon product on hand because it feels like it's just a matter of time before the greasiest loser you could ever imagine tries to break into your business to get their grubby paws on it. It's like dropping Tilted Towers in Fortnite back during Fortnite's heyday. It's just completely out of control, and it is only getting worse. This is spreading faster than fucking Gangnam Style in 2012. There is literally, like every single day, there is someone breaking into a card shop to steal thousands of dollars worth of Pokemon cards. And I've covered a lot of it, but I haven't in a little while, and it's not because it's started to die down or simmer down or anything. In fact, quite the opposite. I just haven't been covering it as much because it is just fucking pathetic, the state of the hobby right now, and there is so little more to be said about it. It sucks. But today I saw one that made me want to dust off this topic again because I think it is the perfect example to showcase just how extreme it's gotten.
Sad news at RNG Therapy. We experienced a break-in at 5:45 Tuesday morning. Two people, a male and a female, ran into our shop with a U-Haul and took some stuff. It's gut-wrenching. So yeah, just an update. Watch the video, check it out.
This couple rented a U-Haul seemingly with the sole purpose to ram it through the garage door of this card shop so they could steal Pokemon cards and then make a quick getaway. There's so much to unpack with that. They rented a vehicle to commit a crime. I feel like it probably won't be that hard to find who they are, assuming they had to provide some identification and payment information to even get the U-Haul in the first place. God willing, hopefully they don't get away with it. This is a level of insanity that dwarfs even some of the most absurd that I'd seen prior. They rented a U-Haul to crash it through this building to steal Pokemon cards. Holy shit. Also, they're just like manhandling the Pokemon cards. They're doing it au naturel, the way our forefathers used to steal Pokemon cards. They're not even using bags or anything. They're literally just grabbing like two fistfuls and walking it back and forth. Like they didn't even bring like bags or something to do it more efficiently. They are that fucking stupid. You are witnessing actual Neanderthal mode. You are seeing laid bare in front of you the dumbest society can provide you with. Holy shit. And you get a pretty good look at this girl's face, one of the perpetrators here. I'm hoping these two turbo idiots get caught pretty soon. I'm pretty optimistic that they will. It feels like there's a lot of information that you could probably get from the vehicle they rented here for it. Plus, you also have pretty solid surveillance footage of what they look like. Hopefully they will get caught. Now, the reason I wanted to yap about this is because of just how over the top it is. They fucking crash a truck through this card shop to get the Pokemon cards. In almost every other card shop break-in and robbery I've seen, they just bash the glass in. They'll hit it with a brick, a hammer, something. They just walk in and start breaking all the glass in order to steal the cards. But here, there's no glass for them to break through. It's a fucking garage door. It's a huge garage door. You would think that would be more difficult and like a deterrent from people breaking in. But no, these morons still find a way. Like, you are just not safe. If you have Pokemon cards, somehow these vermin will sniff it out, and come hell or high water, they will fucking bust through those walls like the Kool-Aid Man. It is shocking. They crashed a U-Haul through this garage door to get to these Pokemon cards. Next, like, you're gonna have to start putting your Pokemon cards at Fort Knox, but even then, idiots like this will probably still find a way to try and gain access. It'll be like Wile E. Coyote. They'll get the Acme Dynamite out and the plunger and try and like blow it up to get in. It's just so sad, the state of this hobby. And I feel terrible for this business. Like, I would have thought, given the location of this business being, pretty secure behind a garage door and everything, that they were likely going to be safe and be able to provide a nice little hangout card shop spot for their community. But no, still no. They crashed the car through it. Now, I watched some of the updates here from their Instagram page. They have replaced the garage door, which is not cheap, mind you, and they are trying to, keep their heads held high, moving forward into the future here. So they are back open for business, which is great. They were only down for a little while here after this. But it just sucks to see this, man. Like, I just feel so bad. It's not like these card shops are rolling in money. Like, it's not like these businesses are just raking in millions and millions of dollars. And yet they are just getting absolutely pillaged. Like the fucking Vikings are running through here and just dismantling their inventory of Pokemon cards. It's just dangerous. It's sad. It's fucking sad. And like I said, this is very, very, very common now. Like when I was looking for this to try and find it on my own, an unrelated story of 3 separate break-ins all in like a week came up. And like I mentioned, it's the standard song and dance that a lot of these robbers like to do, where they just bust in the glass of these card shops and then just start breaking everything to get to them.
In and out in 30 seconds. That's all it took for this thief to make off with about $6,000 worth of Pokemon cards.
They smashed our showcase, so they knew where they were going.
On top of the...
Like I said, that's typically how it goes. They come in, break the glass. In the rest of this news segment here, they interview a couple of other shops that experienced very similar break-ins, losing thousands of dollars worth of product. And typically, it's just a big old... In one of them, it was just a big old piece of concrete. They broke the glass and then kicked in the rest of it and then just walked in, stole the shit, breaking the shit. It's awful. It's just awful. It is so shameful, and it is showing no signs of slowing down. Like, you're not even safe if you are behind a garage door. A reinforced door is not safe because you never know when the dumbest couple on the planet's gonna rent a goddamn bulldozer and just blast through it. It's just despicable. I am so tired of the degeneracy in the Pokemon card community. Jiminy Christmas. And like I've said from the very beginning, even if you do steal all of these Pokemon products, they're not easy to resell. You're not going to make a huge killing selling the couple of $1,000s worth of Pokemon product that you lifted from these local card shops. Like, it's not going to sell immediately, even if you do mark it down significantly. And a lot of people in the community are always aware of what's been stolen, so many times what's happened in the past is people that have stolen it have been caught when they've tried to resell it because people know, and they don't want to have that hot potato of stolen product. Like, it's just so fucking dumb across the board from these idiots, these absolute losers that are stealing all of these TCG products. It's so fucking dumb. Anyway, though, just wanted to yap about this again. That's really about it. So, yeah. Pokemon scalpers are inventing a new, even more degenerate and diabolical meta for scamming and stealing Pokemon cards, using children for it. Well, involving children in the scam. 2 days ago, I made that video about the whatnot seller who was resealing Pokemon packs and selling them, but using his son as the one on stream to open the packs for the buyers and just drumming it up as like a family business. This is so hype. Look at my son. He's ripping Pokemon packs. We're so proud. This is amazing. Whoops. Turns out we repackaged all of them to give you trash for a huge markup. Sorry, you caught us. He literally even admits to being caught on the live stream. And now I just saw another video about a couple that was stealing Pokemon cards from Target using their 1-year-old as the method. So they brought their 1-year-old son to Target so that way they could unlock the stroller tech from the passive tree here. So they had their child in the stroller and were pushing him around, and then would take Pokemon product and conceal it in the stroller to steal it. Now, the title of the video says that they left the child in the car while they went in there and stole, but I don't think that's exactly the case. I haven't found too much information beyond the body cam about what exactly happened. My understanding with the way it's described is that they had the child in the store using him for crime, basically, not them leaving him in the car. But either could be true and both are bad. The kid thought he was going on a fun adventure with mommy and daddy, but he was actually involved in their little crime escapades here. An unwilling accomplice. He had no clue.
So, pick the bad time to steal Pokemon cards, man.
Yeah. That, just so we have an understanding, she had nothing.
She was right there with you when you concealed it.
It is totally me, man. Totally me, 100% me.
You guys put the Pokemon cards into the...
Yeah, I will give them back, of course. This 100% my responsibility, sir.
A pretty admirable attempt here from the guy to just fall on the sword. No, she's totally innocent. It was all my galaxy brain scheme. It was all my nefarious plot here. She had no clue what was going on. It was all me. So he's trying to, like, you know, isolate her from this so that way she doesn't get in trouble. And then he also generously says he's willing to give the cards back. That's very sweet of you.
Seriously, honest to God, I am short on my rent, and they are very valuable. And I was hoping to pull something in order to make up the money I'm short on my rent.
And where are the cards in the car?
Yeah.
I know, where are they in the car?
In the back seat.
And by the way, you can't say she had nothing to do with it when that's all you guys came in here for. And you concealed it right next to her. Just so you're aware of that.
His hero plan, unfortunately, falls a bit short because they have surveillance camera footage and they can clearly see she was directly involved in this plan and acted to help conceal it and work to get the Pokemon cards out of there. So it kind of ultimately ended up looking like that scene from Kong Skull Island where that guy pops 2 grenades to sacrifice himself to kill the monster, but the monster just hits him with the tail and he gets flown into a fucking wall and blows up. It didn't work, is the point.
Say, I don't know if it would make a difference. Is there any way we could pay for it?
This isn't an apology type of thing. You've already done it. You know what I mean? There's no way to just suddenly, hey, we're going to pay for everything because we got caught by the police.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you also stole stuff with the baby.
Yeah, but
That doesn't matter.
I have the money for it. I can
Yeah,
pay
but
it.
as I just told him, that's not how this works. You don't get to suddenly want to pay for things after you get caught by the police.
Fourth quarter, back up against the wall, throwing out the Hail Mary. They try to, pay for it after the fact. That didn't fly either. So they are both facing not just like the small-time theft. The officers also threw out the possibility of pursuing child endangerment against them because they involved their child in this crime, which they argue puts them in a path of danger. Should Gary Oak roll up and start airing the place out, trying to stop him from stealing the Pokemon cards, the kid is now in harm's way. Basically, they brought the kid for the sole purpose of executing this crime. Now again, the title says that the child was left in the car, but all of the information in the video seems to indicate that the kid was present. Also, if the kid wasn't in the stroller in the first place, there would be no point to bringing the baby anyway. So that wouldn't even make sense unless they had like a decoy, like they had like a baby doll in the stroller. But then again, why would they bring like the actual flesh and blood human being there? So I have to imagine that they did actually bring him in the store to do this. Though if they did leave him in the car, that is also equally dangerous. You do not leave a child in a hot car. That, everyone should know that. This happened in Florida. You especially don't do it in Florida. If they did leave him in the car, who knows how long they were in the store for. That is extremely unfair and irresponsible to the kid if he was left unattended in that car. But I'm leaning towards the idea that they brought him in the store to do this. Worth mentioning, I haven't slept in over 28 hours. There is a good chance that maybe I'm just completely wrong there. I just thought I'd put that on the record. But either way, still not good. Regardless, stealing Pokemon cards by using your baby to help you accomplish it is fucking unhinged. This is so avoidable. Like, ruining your life just to get your hands on some Pokemon merchandise to flip because you're a scalper is just so low. It is shameless to involve your child in it as well.
Alright, you want to give me a quick press?
Thank you. I'll go get the press one.
Alright. We have child endangerment on both of them.
For what?
They had their... How old is your child? A year-old, then they used a stroller as cover for it. Decent human, you literally put your 1-year-old child in danger.
How is that?
You cannot do a crime and then nothing happens because you have a kid.
It is happening. I'm going to
You use
jail.
the stroller as a ways of concealing the
And I'm
merchandise.
getting arrested.
And so is she. I need you to call your dad to come pick him up.
The other officers didn't seem super on board with his evaluation here about child endangerment, so I don't know if that stuck or anything, but this was him explaining it to them. Regardless of what charges were ultimately, brought against them, this was just so fucking avoidable. Like stealing Pokemon cards from Target by using your baby and its stroller to conceal them is just like, how can you sink so low? They say that they were short on rent, so the plan was to steal these Pokemon products, open them, hoping for a big hit, fingers crossed, praying for a big hit, so they could sell it to nearby game shops. That is like, in the world of scalping, that is even stupider than most scalpers. Why would you open the product? Just sell the product itself in that case. You are not going to hit, most likely. You are not going to make more money buying the product, opening it, praying for like the big hit that'll grade it like a fucking PSA 10. Like, it's not like that is a pipe dream.
Are you guys going to other stores and doing this?
No, sir.
So how do you guys have so many Pokemon cards?
No, I've been collecting for years.
That's what I'm saying, but these are all new cards, man. They're all like fresh out of the
Yeah,
pack.
the ones that I have.
The ones that are in there, yeah.
Yeah, those are. If you see the sleeves in there, they're all sleeved up, well taken care of, fresh out of my binder. We were taking them to the game store, Prodigy.
Okay, cool. All right, be right back with you.
He apparently had a lot of Pokemon cards that he claims he had been collecting for years. The officer notes that they seem pretty fresh and new, so it's probably not like years old cards or anything. It seems like it is some pretty brand spanking new puppies in there that he is saying that he was going to go sell to not GameStops, the game stores. Well, maybe GameStop. I'm pretty sure they take Pokemon cards. They fucking grade them there now. They have like a wizard on standby who's just like, yeah, it's probably like a 9 or a 10 maybe. I have no idea how it works. Not important regardless. His plan was to take these hits, sell them, and then pay rent, is what he said the goal was. Of course, no way of knowing if that's true or if he is just someone who is a scalper who turns around and sells it because it's hot right now and people make money doing it. I have no idea if the story about the rent is true or not. They then searched his car and found some other stuff, like a marijuana cigarette or something, and he got in trouble for that as well. Big mess, all of which entirely avoidable if he didn't try and steal Pokemon cards from Target using a baby and his stroller to try and smuggle the Pokemon sacred cards out of the store with. Just super crazy, the state of Pokemon cards right now. It's unbelievable. That's about it, see ya. You think I'm unshowered and greasy, don't you? You should be ashamed of yourself. That's pathetic. This is called acting. I am simply playing a character that is a slimy, greasy caveman. It's method acting, you swine. You wouldn't know anything of it, would you? With your ignorance out of the way and this myth fully busted and debunked, I'd like to proceed with the video topic, if you don't mind. Which is, of course, more Pokemon card thieves.
I literally caught somebody in 4K stealing a Charizard from my booth at a card show. So let's do a play-by-play. The card in question is a 25th anniversary celebrations Charizard. Let's start out by actually locating the card.
I don't even know how many videos I have at this point covering Pokemon card thieves. This has to be one of the most commonly stolen items. Like, what else would even be close? Phones? Maybe? Like, perhaps? But I don't even know, because phones, like, nowadays are, like, often locked down, and people know that if you just steal a display phone, you can't do shit with it. You can maybe shove it up your ass, and that's about it. So, like, I can't even think of something else that would be stolen as frequently as Pokemon cards have been over the last year. Because there's at least, like, 5 or 6 robberies a week that we know of with video evidence of people stealing Pokemon cards.
And here we can see one of the guys at the show pick it up to have a look at it. We can see him put the Charizard card right down at the front of my table. It's in the danger zone. And now moments later, let me introduce you to Jamie. Now between the face tat and the high vis, bro's not helping himself go incognito on this one. We see Jamie walk past the Charizard card and quite clearly lock eyes with it.
I saw a lot of super sleuths in the comments debating whether or not that first guy was in on this. And I will admit, it is odd that he would pick up the Charizard and then put it so far away from the place that he got it from. And especially at a card show, most people there probably are somewhat knowledgeable on cards. he would definitely know that putting a card on the edge of the table there, that's like chumming the waters around sharks. That is a disaster waiting to happen. Like, I feel like there is merit to the idea that he could have known this guy and this was like a planned thing, but the uploader shoots that theory down by mentioning that he actually knows that first guy personally and he was interested in buying that card. The reason he had to step away was because something outside of that needed his tending to, so he left to go do that and then came back to buy the card, and it was gone. And he said at no point did those two ever interact or anything, so I would take his word that the first guy probably wasn't in on it. Plus, I also feel like with the way that the card got stolen, this probably wasn't a multi-person operation. This guy right here wearing like the most obvious attire, like he literally is wearing a fucking Fortnite skin to stand out in front of as many people as possible. He is literally wearing accoutrements that are designed so you can see them in the dark. He is actually, it's like he's putting up a whole beacon, like he's giving everyone a fucking UAV so they can constantly find him in the crowd. And he is going to steal this card in the most Neanderthalic way possible. He just grabs it.
And with shaky hands, he even goes in for a little cheeky touch. Now with phone in the left hand at the ready, it's incredible how quickly he's locked in on swiping this thing. Try and act a little nonchalant, has a little gainer in the case, and then looks straight back at me to see whether I'm at all paying attention. What I'm not, my camera definitely is. And here we can see that Jamie spec'd all of his skill points into stealth and thievery, because look at this cheeky maneuver. Bang, and the card is gone, angled it perfectly so we can see it on the bottom of his phone right here.
That's about as simple as it gets right there. I just don't believe the first guy was in on it here. I don't think this was premeditated and planned. It's clearly not some Ocean's 11 style heist. This guy just sees the card at the edge of the table, he like caresses it once or twice, honks on it like a pair of boobies, and then he puts his phone on top of it and grabs it. And that's it. And you can clearly see that he grabs the card, it even flashes the camera.
Now, Jamie's misplayed this a lot, as his mum, or I don't know, I'm just assuming, it could be his partner, has looked over at the exact right time. I don't know, I'm pretty good at lip reading, and I'm pretty sure she says, "Yeah, man, you should subscribe to the channel."
He makes fun of this lady at the end here and makes a joke out of it, assuming that she knows what just happened. I'm not convinced she does. Like, her turning around and then seeing this guy, I don't think immediately would raise red flags that she must have known he stole that Pokemon card, because he does have the Pokemon card under his phone. We as the viewers can clearly recognize that the card has just been stolen. He's not a good thief by any means. He's like the fucking wet bandits if they went around banging trash cans together to make as much noise as possible during burglaries. Like, he is bad at it, sure, but to someone that's on that side where she is, from that angle, how the fuck would she see that card? How would she know? Unless she has Superman's X-ray vision, there's no way she's going to notice that he just stole a Pokemon card under that phone. Unless, you know, she's his mom and just expects her son to... Hold on, I'm ripping a fart. I had to rip some ass right there. And just expecting her son to be stealing Pokemon cards. Which I guess is possible. Like, yeah, there's a chance she knew. And she does say something that seems to be targeted towards this guy. But I don't know what it is, and I just find it hard to believe that somehow she saw that happen. Because it looks like she was looking in the other direction when he made his big move there. Anyway, though, I want to show you another Pokemon thief. This is the hot spot for stealing Pokemon cards. I have seen so many clips now of people just going into card shops and just not even trying to hide it, just stealing cards and walking out. There have been so many videos like this, but this one's the newest that I've seen, so I figured might as well show this. This guy, with no shame at all, he's looking at cards right now. He's got his phone out, and I guess maybe trying to price check it or something. And then he just makes his move. His move being a bumbling oaf that just puts the cards in his pocket and instantly gets caught.
Hello. place those.
All right, well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, bud. See you soon. Yep.
Anything else? Can you empty out your pockets for me?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's it.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Just go ahead and move.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not gonna put you on blast, but I don't ever want you to come back.
Yes.
This guy just stole Pokemon cards while wearing his company shirt. He is literally wearing his job uniform while doing this. Like, again, the shamelessness of stealing Pokemon cards here is shocking. Like, these aren't even people that are trying to be stealthy about it. Like, all he does is he puts the cards in his pocket. Then he instantly gets caught doing it because it's just so clear. Plus, he asked to see those cards. Did he just think that these are NPCs in a video game who just fucking forgot that they did that? Like, oh, it's been 15 seconds. Okay, I forgot what I was doing. Must have been the wind. Like, what? How did he think he would possibly get away with that? When he puts the cards back, they're going to notice that it's missing a few. The natural conclusion would be like, oh, where'd those cards go? It must have been the wind. Fucking fell to the back rooms, I guess. It's craziness. Like, even if they didn't catch him in the act, when he went and slapped the cards down, I'm sure the workers would have been like, where are the other cards? And then what? Was he planning to, like, run away? But she happened to see it happen, has the camera pulled up, and he instantly is like, yep, nope, caught me. You did a good job. You'll always remember this as the day you caught Captain Jack Sparrow. It's craziness. Like, and this isn't even, like, the most egregious one. I've seen videos of people just reaching over the counter while the worker turns around briefly to just steal cards out of the display, and then they stand there, and then obviously the worker's gonna notice that it's missing cards in the fucking display. It is crazy how out of control stealing Pokemon cards is, and just how, like, blatant people are with it. Because I think they're just so confident that even if they get caught, there's no real repercussions. Because in cases like with the Charizard, I looked it up, near mint that card goes for like $140. I think people just feel really confident stealing this because they, A, don't expect people to pursue it very hard. B, even if they do, the police probably won't do very much about it because it's not like extremely expensive if they're just stealing a couple of cards here and there. And C, they think if they steal these, they can immediately turn around and sell it for a ton of money, which you can't. That is just, it's a terrible idea to even steal these in the first place to try and make money off that shit. It is so out of control. It is nuts. With not just Pokemon, everything in the TCG space right now is just bonkers. Anyway, I just wanted to show you these two instances of stealing cards really poorly. That's about it. So yeah. You think you're pathetic? Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but let me try and help you with your self-esteem real quick. I want to share an interesting specimen with you that should lift your self-esteem. Because no matter what you think of yourself, when you take a look in the mirror and you're not happy, at least you're not looking at this man's face staring back at you. A 24-year-old man who just ruined his whole life because he stole over $100,000 worth of Pokemon cards and tried to sell them. He got caught. His name is Ronald. What is his name? Ronnie, Rudolph, Ryan, Richard Nunez. I couldn't remember his name. He's such a worthless worm, it didn't even like register as something important. But his name is Richard Nunez, and he is someone I covered on stream a little while back where he broke into a card shop to steal Pokemon cards. This has become a very common target for robberies, Pokemon cards, because of how hot the TCG market is. So there are goobers out there that are now breaking into card shops, stealing them to try and sell them for big money. And as I've said numerous times now, it's a really fucking stupid idea. You have got to be the biggest nincompoop to think this is somehow a good strategy.
Thief was caught on camera in a smash and grab, breaking into a New Bedford collector shop. Now, he was after Pokemon cards, very valuable cards, worth over 6 figures.
Smashing through 2 doors to get inside and steal the Pokemon cards.
I am definitely disappointed that this is what it's come to.
A brazen early morning heist that could rival any cartoon villain in only 30 seconds.
The reporter kind of talks about him like he's some kind of super skilled thief, like fucking Team Rocket villain here or something. He's not exactly like some galaxy brain mastermind criminal. He is a Cheeto dust caked on his fucking lips, goofy, greasy goober who juggernauts his way through 2 doors here and just takes the most valuable stuff from the display. He had clearly been to this store before and knew exactly what the high value items were, so he just went in there, breaking the glass, put it in a bag, and left. He did not get away with it, and it's something I've talked about a lot. This is a really fucking stupid idea in the first place because there's a variety of reasons. But, A, this isn't like gold bricks. You're not taking, something that everyone's going to be wanting to buy. You're taking things that you're likely going to be sitting on for a long time, maybe even forever. Like, there's no guarantee you'll ever even sell these products because they are so expensive. Only a small niche of the niche would ever even buy it, has the buying power to purchase it, because these are like $10,000+ cards, including a $30,000 box that he stole. It's not exactly easy to move those units online or in person. B, when you do try and sell it, you are going to be selling to other people in this industry most likely, and when you steal these items, they put out, of course, an announcement about the items that were stolen, and they have serial numbers and shit. So they get marked as stolen, so when you try and sell them, they can immediately see if it's stolen product most of the time. So most of these people, these fucking idiots, these drooling morons that steal Pokemon cards do end up getting caught when they go to sell them. And that is exactly what happened to Richard. Get the world's smallest violin out to play this man a song as he spends a good chunk of his life in jail now because $100,000 in stolen property is something taken very seriously, I would at least hope. So, First Edition Collectibles is the store that he stole from. They put out this flyer here, basically, online about everything that was stolen and gave all the numbers about it. And about 5 days ago, he was caught when he tried to sell it to another store that got suspicious with what he was trying to sell them and then noticed, oh, it happens to match what was stolen from First Edition Collectibles. They reported him. They caught him.
More than $100,000 worth of Pokémon cards stolen from a Massachusetts trading card store. Then, 2 weeks later, a break in the case, coming about 100 miles away.
A few days ago, I got a phone call of someone trying to sell a Green Wings base set booster box. We were super excited. We haven't had a box come through in a while, so I got him to come into the shop.
Dana Gagnon is the store manager at Collectible Tags in Manchester. He says something seemed off about the cards that man was trying to sell.
That's another thing. When these people are stealing cards like this, these really valuable cards, those are pretty hard to come by. So it immediately gets people alert. Like, oh, okay, this is a really interesting thing you're trying to sell me. They're going to do their due diligence to make sure they're not buying a stolen product, because that is a bad thing for them too. People don't just necessarily willy-nilly buy a fucking base set booster box like that without doing some amount of housekeeping to make sure that everything is, squeaky clean here. Also, at the end of the day, it's just shameful. Imagine living life knowing that you're the guy that stole fucking Pokemon cards to try and make money off of it. You could end up like Richard Nunez here, who's going to be behind bars, hopefully for a long time. I think it's going to be something they take seriously because of how common Pokemon card theft is, in particular, and the amount that he stole. I think he will probably face some very severe repercussions here. I imagine his life is ruined. Which it should be. You're a fucking loser.
Which are valued at $30,000.
He then had a suspicion that it was a similar box to what First Edition Collectibles lost. We acquired a photo of the guy's ID that sold us the box, so we had identification. And so Chris made some phone calls. We realized it was the box.
New Bedford police say they got similar calls from other stores.
These were so rare that they were serialized in a way that brought people's attention to the fact that they may be the ones that were involved in this theft.
New Bedford police arresting the suspect, 24-year-old Richard Jovan Nunez.
I so desperately wanted to see a picture of Richard. I was hoping they were going to share his mugshot, but it doesn't seem like they've shared that anywhere at the moment, at least not that I can easily find. But I already know he probably has fucking stink fumes coming off of him. I bet if people got to see what a Pokemon thief looked like, like, that alone would be enough of a deterrent to, like, scare you away from it. Like, you don't want to end up looking like or being like Richard Nunez. Like, he could serve as such a good example to hopefully stop this from being so common. Anyway, to just dive a bit deeper here into the lore on how they got him, how they finally took down this menace. Detective Nicole Rodriguez of the New Bedford Police Department had received a tip about a person trying to sell the same booster box, that being the base set Unlimited Green Wings. Later that day, Rodriguez received another tip from Tauntaun saying that the person was trying to sell more Pokemon cards and determined it was highly unlikely the same person would possess both without being connected to the original theft. So Nunez was taken into custody in Tauntaun, and they also discovered that he had an active felony warrant out of Tauntaun District Court. So he already had a felony as well, so he is a career criminal, it sounds like. After his arrest, police searched an apartment in Dartmouth where Nunez had allegedly been staying. While there, police said they found a shoebox full of Pokemon cards that matched the ones stolen from first edition collectibles. Among the cards stolen was a 1999 Charizard first edition worth more than $12K, and 2 other Charizards worth $10.6K each. Doesn't really seem like there's a whole lot of wiggle room that they happened to get the wrong guy. Kind of got him with his hand in the cookie jar here. And I imagine his first choice wasn't going to physical locations to sell these items, by the way. I imagine he tried to sell them online first. But, like I said, these aren't items that move fast. And I have to take a guess here that he was probably a little worried that he would get caught if he held them for too long or tried to do more with them online, trying to like sell them at a really discounted price, because that is also something that is a red flag to people that would be interested in purchasing something like this. So he then ended up driving over 100 miles away to a store that was far from where he was staying, hoping that maybe they didn't know about the stolen cards worth over $100,000 and trying to sell far away, but obviously they were going to know. It's a big deal, and he got caught. So, good news, they got him. Hopefully, we stop seeing so many card shops being robbed. Overall, though, this is a good news story here. They did catch the guy responsible, so I'm happy First Edition Collectibles was able to, help get this guy behind bars. Hopefully they get all their items back in a timely manner as well. Great work from Collectible Tags to recognize that it was stolen items, and they got his identification to help get him caught. Great news all around, and yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. Pokemon cards are a Schedule 1 drug. However, unlike its brethren in this classification, this one is completely legal, God help us all. But it's still just as potent, with the same potential to ruin your life. Sometimes it takes only a single pack to change the trajectory of your whole existence. It'll have you left with $0 and 0 bitches as you spend all of your money in every waking moment trying to get your hands on as many packs as possible as you chase the high of getting the shiny cardboard that you could sell for a $10 profit. It is sad. That's what it is. It's sad. And in a surprise to no one, there are some criminals in the Pokemon card community. But don't worry. You can sleep a little more peacefully tonight knowing that at least one nefarious supervillain has been taken off the streets. I'm happy to report that Cobra Commander has been taken away in handcuffs after trying to steal some Pokemon cards at a convention. I know it's a little hard to make heads or tails of the audio and what's actually being said here. A lot of commotion on the floor. It's pandemonium. But, as I understand it, this gentle sir, tipping his fedora to the vendors, would go around and slyly take cards he didn't pay for. Rattle Pokemon actually covered this a few days ago and talked to True Collectible, who was there. And they say that they've recognized this guy from other conventions. They estimate that he's probably stolen thousands of dollars worth of stuff from vendors. And that on this occasion, they had an inkling, like this suspicion, that he might have been putting cards into his bag. So they asked to check it. He got defensive and started rolling nat ones on the charisma check, which made everyone pretty suspicious. They got security involved. And then when it's all said and done, apparently he was trying to make off with about $400 to $500 worth of cards that he swiped in across like a 2-hour time span. And after reading some comments from some other vendors at the scene here, A lot of people recognize him from other conventions, so he's kind of like a common cameo villain like the fucking box ghost of Pokemon card thieves. But this is the first time he's been caught in the act of stealing. And he almost got away with it, if it wasn't for those meddling people with eyeballs. He wasn't very good at crime.
Wait, hold up 1 second, sir. One second, hold up 1 second. Excuse me, this is not lawful. This is not lawful. This is not lawful.
He's wearing a Mickey Mouse shirt, besmirching the good name of the clubhouse of Mickey and Friends. Walt Disney just turned over in his grave. This is a fucking sight for sore eyes, I tell you what. You'd never expect a Disney adult to do something like this. But he keeps trying to say, like, wait a minute, I can explain. They don't let him say his side of the story because there really isn't one. He just blatantly stole these cards. The proof is in the pudding, and the pudding is all over the place. He is, like, refusing to cooperate, so he's like, I don't know, he's trying to break the cuffs or something there. And then he keeps saying that it's not lawful, even though it's probably about as lawful as it gets. He did just blatantly steal these cards in front of people. So, I mean, they've got him kind of dead to rights on this one, I'd say. Not a whole lot of wiggle room for a misunderstanding. So they weren't able to, like, chicken wing him or anything, so then eventually they went for, like, the leg sweep here. And you can see the handcuffs are linked, like, 5 times, it looks like. They've got a big fucking, like, you know, remember in school where you would, like, cut out that stack of paper and it'd be a bunch of people holding hands? That's what they've done with the handcuffs here. It is a long string of cuffs they've got that they're trying to slap on him here to no avail. So now they've got him in the grapple game on the ground, and it is still not going their way. That is an immovable force right there. I'm not going to show you the ground game here all that much, but it goes on for quite a while. They end up getting some reinforcements. They have the cavalry come in here, and then they get him in like a fucking, you know, Thanksgiving turkey stance and carry him away. Just look at this. It's like they were about to use him as a battering ram or something. They got him in wheelbarrow position here. Like parading him through the convention now for all to see. It's like that scene in Game of Thrones Season 5 with the shame walk. Now, since this was a big convention, there's like 9 different angles of this whole interaction, and they are all glorious, because you get to see a different perspective of him getting carried away goofily like that. It is extraordinary.
Find our code stolen. Damn.
Why are you doing that?
Damn.
This one is my favorite angle, where he's coming directly at the cameraman. We get like straight down the pipe view here. It would go ballistic in 3D. They've got his arms pinned back. It looks like he's about to sprout wings like a bat or something. It looks like he's about to be crucified. Like he died on the cross for our Pokemon cards or some shit. It is surely there was a more efficient way of cuffing him and getting him out of there, but I'm happy they couldn't find it, because this is so much better. Like, that is the most embarrassing way of getting arrested. It is also a little embarrassing that it took that many cops to get, like, one dweeb, but kind of a big boy. That is kind of a big boy. I can understand why it ended up being a bit of a struggle there at the convention center, and I'm happy with the turnout, with how awful that must be for him going forward. He can never show his face at a convention again, rightfully so.
Thank you.
Just look at how much loot he was trying to get away with there. So this is a clip of one of the vendors going through some of the cards that were stolen from them, but it is a stash. He piled up a lot. So I think it's pretty clear what his strategy was. I'll tell you how the sausage was likely made in this case. It seems like, and based on some of the comments, he would go to booths and he would look through like the low value binder, so like dollar binder, where every card in the binder is like $1. And he would sit there for a long time flipping through the $1 cards, and the assumption is he would start swiping some of them, putting them into the bag, because when it comes to a convention like this, most people are going to be paying attention to the high value cards, like cards worth $100, $200, whereas they might not notice a couple $1 cards here and there missing, but they would notice if those really expensive ones were. So this guy was going from booth to booth here, speed running, going through these binders for like really low value cards and just going for a quantity play of getting a ton of them, is what it seems like. Because $400 to $500 with that many cards tells me he was targeting things that he knew people probably wouldn't even recognize were missing. And it almost worked, I guess, and maybe it's worked in the past, because in the Rattle Pokemon video, True Collectible seems to believe that he's probably stolen thousands of dollars worth of cards over the course of his spree. So it must have been working to a certain point, but it will no longer. This was a very public arrest with his face on full display. They had him strung up like that guy in Hellraiser, the guy that said Jesus wept. When they carried him away in cuffs here, it really looked like that scene. Like, people aren't going to forget his face, and they will definitely not be doing business with him going forward. They most likely won't even let him into a convention. So I think his days of stealing Pokemon cards are over. At least directly from vendors. I have no doubt he'll go home and start scalping Pokemon cards and probably trying to make a career selling it on Whatnot. But who knows? Anyway, just want to talk about this a bit. That's it. See ya. There are some fascinating degenerates on Whatnot. Like, I know I've been making fun of Whatnot quite a bit for some unhinged scammers, scalpers, and just lunatics, but the two I want to show you here, I think, are the biggest weirdos so far that I've seen. The first guy is having a meltdown because, the lore goes, he was telling people on his stream to buy in for the mystery set giveaway, and then he didn't actually do the giveaway. Instead, he raided to another Whatnot seller, and then people called him a scammer in the comment section, which really, it made him see red. He had steam coming out of his ears. He was so upset, feathers ruffled, so he started another stream.
Cold cards, suck your mum as well, you stupid little rat. I'll snap your chin in I'll spin your chin like a roll on you little mug.
I'm confident there was some English buried deep into that Xanax overdose sounding mumbling that he just did. The only thing I could make out somewhat was him saying, "Suck your mom." Really going into the Call of Duty lobby levels of insult here. It's also kind of hard to understand what he's saying because he is clearly, like, amped up. Like, you can hear his heart is pounding. He's stuttering. It sounds like he's getting a lump in his throat, like on the verge of tears. So he is struggling to find insults, and he just keeps fucking face planting into some of them. He says that he's gonna spin him like a roll-em-a-mum or something. I have no fucking clue what gobbledygook he spit out at the end of that sentence there of his little rant.
With your little glasses, I'll snap them off your head. Trying to put my name down like that, you little rats. I hope I get banned as well. I hope your mum gets raped and all.
Can you imagine being this pathetic? Saying some shit like that while you're surrounded by Pokemon cards that you're trying to peddle to people that will overpay for it because that's your livelihood? Fucking Worm even ended stream and then still sat on the app just reading the chat, insulting him, treating him like a punching bag, asked his wife's boyfriend for permission to start another stream just so that way he could prove them all wrong. He's not a scammer. He said, "Why I oughta, get a load of this," and then started talking a bunch of barnacles saying that he hopes that person's mother gets raped, all because they called him a scammer. And he didn't even do a good job of defending himself as not being a scammer. All he did was have a temper tantrum. Of course, I'm not with the Better Business Bureau, so I don't know if he actually is scamming. But like every other Whatnot seller, they're all just trying to have you overpay for the shit that they invested in. They're bad investments. They hope you will make them whole again with some clams on top by overpaying for these things. But in regards to this goober, I don't know if he did anything different than all the other scalpers on Whatnot. All we have is that little tiddly wink of lore to try and give context to the situation, and then from his own asshole, he gives like a 10-second explanation after saying someone's mother should be raped.
I'm going. Fuck this shit. I'm gone. Owen, yeah? I'll tell you who bought in. 5 of my people and 2 other people, okay? I've messaged them other people back, and I've said, look, it says in my show notes, upon sellout only. Mr. Dipsomnia. Crayon, you ugly little rat. You ever come on my stream again? Yeah? You little whore. Think you're funny, don't ya? Little dog.
So he's still talking with all that peanut butter in his mouth, so it is a little hard to understand him most of the time, but what he's trying to explain is that the giveaway, the mystery set that he was going to do, he said that it would only happen if it sold out, like all of the spots sold out, then he would do it, which it didn't reach, thus he wasn't going to do it, and messaged the people individually. I guess not everyone got the message, and I guess it wasn't made clear, so people were calling him a scammer. That's his explanation. Now, to me, that sounds like some fucking horseradish if Whatnot allows that kind of giveaway. That, to me, it opens the door to some real fraudulent foolery where you could say, hey, I'm doing a Prismatic Evolutions giveaway if we sell out all of these slots. And then you put like an absurd number on there, like 200 slots that you're never going to sell out over the course of the stream. And then people will buy in hoping to get to that number, but it's probably not going to reach it. And then you can just not do the giveaway, but you get to keep the money that they spent to buy into it. Again, I don't know how it works on Whatnot, but if that is how it works, that is a problem. You could just infinitely farm that by just like trying to generate a ton of hype. Everyone buy into the giveaway right now. I'm doing a fucking Pokemon base set giveaway at 2,000 spots sold here over the next 45 minutes of the stream. Come on, buy. And you would definitely get people to start buying in, hoping that that giveaway would come up, but it's not going to reach that number. And then you'd just be able to take their doubloons for nothing, because then you don't have to run the giveaway. You said it won't happen unless it sells out. Again, maybe that's not how it works on there. Maybe if it doesn't reach the giveaway number, everyone gets refunded. But judging from this, doesn't sound like that's the case, because if everyone got a refund, they probably wouldn't be calling him a scammer. There probably wouldn't be confusion there. But I'm just spitballing. I'm not entirely sure.
You fucking sket. Just because you can't sell stuff, I don't give a fuck if they're watching me. Shut up, you little dog. Yeah, you heard. And you, gold card. Suck your mother as well. That's yours, mate.
He then did get banned after this kind of blew up on Whatnot, which he said he was hoping for, so his prayers were answered. Wish granted from the fairy godparents of Whatnot, I guess. I have to imagine, though, he doesn't have a big smile on his face about it. Now he's sitting on a bunch of Pokemon cards that I know he doesn't want and nowhere to sell them. So, probably not super happy about it, but it's also not really surprising. This guy is fucking unhinged and weird. Even if he's not scamming, which again, I don't know if he is or not, doesn't matter. This is someone that you shouldn't do business with in the first place.
Scalper. So you guys are getting mad at me for not doing it on a fucking table. There's no difference. And FYI, for all you crybaby bitches in my fucking feed right now, 70 is not even market. So you can suck my nut and get off my feed.
Brother, you are winded, out of breath, walking around Walmart pushing a shopping cart of Pokemon Elite Trainer boxes. Ain't nobody ever sucking those nuts. You can't even see your own nuts. I can tell by the way you're huffing and puffing here. This is pitiful. This is just pitiful. This guy was so excited to start scalping after taking all of the Walmart inventory for Destined Rivals that he goes live on Whatnot and people start clowning on him, start dunking on him. So now he's puffing out his chest trying to talk all tough. You crybaby bitches. Oh my lord, it's so comical what a loser this guy is. This guy was so proud and just couldn't wait. His gluttony knew no bounds. He had to go live on Whatnot right away because Christmas came early. He got the entire Walmart stock, ensuring nobody else could have any. So that way he could make like $3 on each Elite Trainer box. He'd profit maybe like $20 across the board if he sold every single fucking one of them. Yippee. Really worth it. But at least he finally got some cardio in from the sound of things. That's good news for him, I guess.
Do what you want, crew 11. Are you talking to me or are you talking to somebody else?
Our Cloverfield footage gets abruptly cut short here. It sounds like a store worker stopped him. Maybe they told him that there's a purchase limit. Oh, Lord, that'd be fucking poetic. He ends stream on the spot, so we'll never know the conclusion there, the thrilling finale. I imagine it was a worker coming up trying to, tell him, hey, maybe don't do that, but he was just so embarrassed and so shocked that someone is talking to him in public while he's trying to hoard all of these Pokemon boxes like Smog from The Hobbit here, that he, in his shame, ended the stream. I can only keep my fingers crossed that he walked out of there with one box, maybe, and no one to sell it to. That would be great. But anyway, these two clips are probably the two biggest weirdos I've found on Whatnot so far. Even more so than the guy that was crashing out all the time. These two are just fucking brutal losers, man. I had to talk about it. That's really about it. See ya. My captors finally released me, so now I'm safely back home, and I have been deep in the rabbit hole of Whatnot scams. I only just recently learned about this platform, and it is apparently huge. So it's fundamentally a live stream auction that any goober on the planet, any Joe Schmo can just pop up live with absolutely no vetting at all from what I can tell. So it is filled to the brim, out the wazoo with scammers. I can count on one hand the amount of successful transactions I've even heard of on this platform. It seems like you go there just to lose your money. There are more scams on Whatnot than there were for fucking crypto meme coin rug pulls. It is bizarre. I have watched so many videos of them just point blank scamming the audience live in front of their faces. Then they end the stream, close their account, and then just make a new account after they get their money. It is baffling. I want to show you just one that I thought was unbelievably silly though, and it's a Pokemon TCG scam.
You got Prismatic. Yeah, pick any which one you want. One person, come on. Thank you, Big Country Fraud. What do you want? I'm guessing the Prismatic.
So you can see his chat there during the auction. They're making some bids. Someone wins and he's about to do a little rip and ship here on prismatic evolutions for Pokemon. Very hype set. People would literally sell their fucking grandmother into prostitution to get their hands on those fucking packs. Scalpers have gone ballistic for prismatic evolutions, and the Pokemon card community is absolutely rotten to its core with all these scalpers exploiting the fuck out of it like it's some kind of degenerate fleshlight. It's just a disaster. I have been spitting and shitting on these scalpers for months now. It is out of control. And this guy might actually be the stupidest one. You can literally hear in his voice that he's a moron. He actually has cartoonish idiot voice. Like, this is what Ed from Ed, Edd n Eddy would sound like if he actually existed in our world.
Bet anybody want to outbid him? Come on, 5 seconds. Thanks, Big Country Fraud, man.
I'm assuming all of you have eyes, and I imagine I don't need to tell you that that was not an officially sealed Pokemon pack. That was what we call in the business resealed. But I don't even think that nomenclature fits this, because he didn't even do the bare minimum. It wasn't sealed. He didn't even like tape it. He didn't even try and pretend. That was a completely open pack that he kind of just loosely held together with his hand and then like pretended to rip it out. But he also didn't even pretend, because he goes in there and the top is already fully open, so you can see the cards poking out, and he just grabs the cards from the top and he's like, oh wait. So then he tries to like pretend that he's like ripping the back off, but there's literally nothing holding it together except for his fucking hand. He didn't even bother to do the bare minimum of putting like a little glue there or some tape. It is blatantly just not an actual pack. And that's before you even see the cards. I am not using this loosely. I am not exaggerating. This is actually the laziest scam I've ever seen. Full stop. There's no effort at all into this one. His heart's not in it. It sounds like he's overdosing right now on ketamine anyway. Like he's got fucking peanut butter in his mouth, so it really sounds like he's not all there, like he's not lucid right now. He's in a fugue state, and he is pulling off live in front of an audience the worst Pokemon scam we have ever seen. And this was only like, I think it was almost a month ago now. Almost a full month ago.
I hate ripping these bitches. I don't know the number for these. Cause I'm fucking awkwardly hunched over. I don't have a stand for my phone. Rufflet. Pidgey. Polistan. Leafy. Fuko, Thorn, Fighting Owlet. Oh, I see something shiny. You got a reverse right here. And then Togekiss.
If you were reading the chat at all, you'll notice that people were quick to pick up that those cards aren't even part of the Prismatic Evolution set. They are from a completely different set. He didn't even bother to put bulk cards from the actual Prismatic Evolutions into this. It's just random cards he found from a totally different set here. And he's also illiterate. He can't even read the fucking cards.
You want bulk or you want the hits?
God, I love that line from him right there at the end of the climax after everyone has found out this guy is just a degenerate fucking loser scammer. He had the gall to say, do you want the bulk or the hits? And the guy who purchased the pack, you can see him type in chat, he said, I want a refund. This guy must have, I don't know, somehow pieced those words together in his brain and figured out that that's a bad thing, because I'm sure he couldn't read it based on how he was trying to pronounce those Pokemon names. So then he knew something was awry. They were on to his nefarious scheme, his genius plan. So then he ended the stream. The show has ended. But really, the show has only just begun. This was giving me so many giggles. Now, he obviously closed his account, or maybe Whatnot banned him, I'm not entirely sure. But his account was closed. He made another account. It was called, like, Jake something. I already forgot, but I think that one's also been closed now. But I'm sure that's not the last we've seen of this guy. I'm sure he's going to keep making new accounts. You cut one head off the Hydra, two more take its place here. He's going to continue to try, but I don't think he'll ever actually be successful at it because his voice is so recognizably stupid that I feel like you will never mistake him. Unless he starts using a voice changer or like an AI Mr. Krabs filter on his voice or something, you will always know that it's this guy. His voice is just so distinct. He is a magnificent clown. Now, at first I thought there was a chance this was like satire on purpose. It's not. This was an actual scam that a real, living, breathing human being actually tried to pull off. And I guess to a certain extent it was successful. He did get that guy's money for this. And I am still just sitting here stunned watching that. And it's not uncommon on Whatnot. That's the thing. I've seen so many scams of similar caliber to this, maybe not as lazy. Like, he didn't even try and reseal the pack. It was actually just in fucking pieces. Then he pretended to open it. But, like, there's so many other scammers. Like, just today, I saw one that was posted today on Whatnot where a scammer forgot to end the stream, and then he was literally talking to his friend about all the scams that he runs himself on his own page, and they're just going back and forth about the scams that they're conducting in front of their audience because he forgot to end the stream, thinking that he had, like, raided into another channel or something. I don't exactly know how it works on Whatnot, but it went on for like 3 minutes. I saw another box break scam. Like, there are so many scams there, but this is, I think, completely in a league of its own in regards to how stupid it is. This guy is like the ultimate dweeb loser. Obviously, I can't stand these assholes, but if there's any solace to take from this clip, it's that going forward, when you see a scalper or a scammer trying to exploit people online in the trading card community, just know that behind the keyboard, they probably look and sound a lot like this guy. A complete bozo. An actual fucking super specimen of stupidity. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about this. That's really about it. So yeah. I still haven't been able to fix this webcam. I know the video looks like I'm trying to catfish you off Tinder with a filter on my pictures, but I can't do anything about it until I go get another one, which I haven't been able to do today. So for now, we're just going to have to deal with this here. I want to talk to you about what I consider to be the most embarrassing crime ever committed and also leading to significant jail time. A man in Georgia was recently sentenced to 3 years in prison for using his COVID relief money to buy an expensive Charizard Pokemon card. This is actually a story I've been following for quite some time. I'm not exactly Dick Gumshoe, but I was able to sniff out the truth in this case pretty early on and knew for a fact this would be a disaster he'd regret for the rest of his life, just like all of those dumb characters in the Darman universe. This guy made a really stupid decision that he is now paying a big price for. 3 years imprisonment. In October of last year, he actually pled guilty to a count of wire fraud after reportedly filing false information to the U.S. Small Business Association. He claimed that he had an entertainment service that employed multiple people and brought in like 235 grand before the pandemic. He applied for a COVID relief package for some money to keep the business going, and he got $85,000 from it, and then spent over $57,000 on the Pokemon card. Now, there's a bit of a discrepancy on what card he exactly purchased. Some people are saying it was a PSA 9 Charizard. Other sources were claiming that it was a Beckett 9.5 Charizard. It depends on who you ask and what dumpster behind Walmart you're talking to your dealer at. But the one thing that's for certain is he bought a graded Charizard card because at that price it had to be a graded card. If he just bought a raw Charizard, no rubber, it'd be like 3 or 4 grand or something, depending on how beat up that shit is for a first ed Charizard. So he spent the majority of his COVID money on that card, and he didn't have that entertainment business he was claiming to have, unless of course he's still keeping that a secret and the entertainment was like giving over the pants hand jobs at massage parlors or something. I don't really know, but when he got busted, he had to give up the Charizard. So in the end, after all of that work and committing a crime, he still didn't even get to hold the holy grail of collecting for very long. He led them to a treasure he himself couldn't possess. Now, of course I don't agree with what the guy did, but I can kind of understand where he was coming from. As most of you know, I used to suffer from the cardboard rot as well. The addiction to collecting shiny cardboard. My fucking caveman brain just loved it. Still do. But I understand how to control myself. As you all know, I'm a recovering addict. In fact, the Charizard card that he coveted so much to go to jail 3 years for, I have right here in this nice little frame. Framed it myself. It's a first ed Charizard. This shit's probably like a PSA 2. I'm sure the owner of this used to wipe their ass with it because it's in bad shape. But I don't care, because I do it for the love of the sport and also a mental illness. So yeah, I followed this story closely. It's something that's near and dear to my boners here because I also love to collect cards, still do. And when I read this story initially, I was like, fuck, that could have been me. Like that mugshot, it could have just been me staring back at you if things had just gone a little differently along the path I took in life. So, I mean, the story's sad because he's losing 3 years of his life to a really stupid decision. I don't know, like, his whole history, but this is obviously a really stupid scam to have tried. He's trying to scam the government. I mean, he succeeded for a time, and now he's going to jail for it for 3 fucking years. And I don't think smuggling Pokemon cards in your butthole is going to do him any good in there. I know cigarettes are often used as currency in prison, at least what movies and TV shows would have me believe, as well as like a couple of things I read. But maybe this guy could be a real pioneer, an innovator, and bring the joy of collecting Pokemon cards to jail, and he could be like the kingpin in that case. But anyway, I do find the story sad, because it's obviously sad that this man's losing 3 years because he bought a Charizard. But I mean, this is the dumbest scam you could have done. If he had just stuck to crypto scams and NFT scams like the rest of them, he would still be out there today funding his addiction to rare Charizards, and he'd still be shitposting on Twitter about his new Bored Ape that he's trying to peddle, and it would have been fine. But instead, he chose old Uncle Sam to go after, and that was just a recipe for disaster. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this because I think it's probably the most humiliating crime that has led to significant time in jail. And yeah, not a very happy ending here, but it's a story I followed, and it just concluded, so wanted to go over it. That's about it. See ya.